Welcome to another Mighty Morphin Power Rangers review. It has been some time since we have done the OG series, but coming back with a vengeance with the 5-part miniseries that is Green with Evil. I'm Zach. This is a podcast named Tim. We do a lot of different things on the channel, so please do like, share, subscribe. This one might be a little different than some of our other reviews because we are going to be doing 5 episodes in one. No monster rating. I was thinking about this. This is the first time in my reviews that we've covered a evil ranger that would end up becoming a part of the team, and decided that they're not necessarily monsters; they're just future rangers, and so they don't really get monster ratings. If I were going to assign one to Mr. Tommy Oliver, future Dr. Tommy Oliver, it'd be obviously the highest score you could assign. Again, this one's going to be a little different. Just I think that if I remember correctly, a lot of Power Rangers, obviously it's a lot of one-offs, episode of the week. Every now and then you'd get a two-parter, and that was a big deal. When a two-parter happened, there was a lot of story to unfold, and the fact that they took the time to have this 5-part series, because they didn't have to. Obviously, they could have. They had the footage from Japan. They could have twisted and mangled it however they wanted, but they put an emphasis on truly introducing this character and creating just the biggest tests. And that's what I want to go through when I'm doing all of this with the Rangers reviews. This feels like the biggest test the Rangers have ever been in all the seasons almost. There might be some parts in space that come close towards the tail end of that, but this is, like I said, the zenith in some respects of Rangers. But let's get into kind of what happened, the blow by blow, the color commentary of what happened. And I have water because I'm going to need it with all the talking I got to do for this one. So obviously we open up on a martial arts competition between Jason and Tommy. Kimberly, and it ends in a tie. We go to school the next day. Kimberly is immediately head over heels with Tommy, and Tommy, comes to her aid from Balkan Skull. Rita decides that she likes this guy. She likes his talent as a martial artist, and she wants to put him to the test. So she sends putties in to test him. He easily passed the test. A unmorphed, I don't want to say untrained because he was clearly trained, but untrained in the Power Ranger realm fighter defeated, I believe it was 4 putties in a back alley. She's like, that's my guy. Calls upon him, gives him the 6th power coin. And basically, of course, this is important because with this 6th power coin, he can now enter the command center and from the inside destroy the Power Rangers. And that is the plan that we're going to be going with. Great, amazing plan. Obviously, it's contingent on you having that 6 power coin. It would be very interesting to see how a modern day show would deal with this 6 power coin, because I think they would maybe tease a little bit more and draw it out over a season, or it'd be a season, an arc for a whole season instead of just this 5 miniseries. But I'd be interested to see how they would handle that now. Zordon basically puts himself into a meditative state to try and avoid it. Tommy comes in, immediately rips up all the command center, just destroys everything, and Rita takes advantage of the situation. That's why this is great. Not only is Tommy great, but Rita at this time is, in many respects, at her tactically her best. She sends in the Ranger and immediately sends down Godar and makes him huge. Now he's outside of town and not in town, but she's not playing around here. She knows the kill shot, the moment of truth is here. The Rangers are busy waxing the rad bug, which I think is the 2nd time we have seen this. And Kimberly's upset because Tommy stood her up, obviously not knowing that he's been changed into the Green Ranger and is now under a spell. There is no teleporting and no communicators because, again, of Tommy's actions. They use the rad bug to get to the command center. Alpha's memory has been wiped. Everything is just in shambles. and things are not going well. The Rangers are able to morph, which I thought was interesting. I don't know how the morphing grid technology works, but I would assume you would think if the technology there is down and the communicators and other things, maybe the morphers that they're connected to wouldn't work, but I don't know morphing grid technology. So, anyway, they're able to morph. This is, of course, the famous Green Ranger entering the Megazord, ripping them out, and then just beating them down mercilessly, single handedly, by himself. He had like one little energy blast, but overall, it is mainly just kung fu on kung fu. Um, and the Rangers have to teleport back because they have been handled. That is episode one, basically. We get introduced to Tommy. He is converted to the Green Ranger, and then he beats them down. It just destroys them. That's how we end the episode. Is them being like, "Well, we who's this? This guy beat us down." So episode two, Billy and Trini are doing a bunch of techno babble to try and bring Alpha back, figure out what's going on. Of course, everyone wants to know who the Green Ranger is and what is, and if he's involved and what happened in the command center, or if there's something else going on. Um, we do find they want to give Rita wants to give Tommy the Sword of Darkness. Apparently, an evil knight defeated Zordon's soldiers thousands of years ago with this, and she wants to and then presented it as a gift to Rita, and she wants to give it to him in order to basically cement the spell. I guess it'll wear off at some point, and this will um, make her hers, his, make him hers forever as far as the spell works, unless it's destroyed. So we have our goal. We're going to have to destroy this sword. Of course, the Rangers do not know this, and there's no Zordon to tell them. So, at a loss. No coach to put the plan into action. So the Power Rangers, Bulk and Skull, end up confronting Tommy in the alley. He gives them the evil eyes. They run away. Jason is taking his anger out on a body bag. He's obsessed with finding out who the Green Ranger is. This is kind of like a weird, um, in some respects, heel turn. I don't want to say heel turn. That's not the correct terminology. It's a darker edge to Jason because he's just so obsessed that it's consuming him. I like the aggression here from Jason. Billy and Trini are still busy working at the command center. Again, Tommy's still being a jerk to Kimberly and everyone else. For some reason, they made the Green Ranger fight some more putties. I think it's like 6 this time. And in order to get the power sword, again, pass the test. So, done. You would think you would just give it to him or come up with a better test. But anyway. Tommy ends up zapping Jason in the back and sends him to a dark dimension chamber somewhere that we've seen him a bunch of times. He sends him there, and Goldar is there with a stolen communicator that he's taken from Jason, I guess, when he got knocked out during the transformation or transportation. And Zach and Kim are waiting at the Red Bug. They're very concerned about Jason because they haven't seen him. They're able to get the computers partially on. They basically say we have to go, to the command center. And Jason is, they have a little fight, and Jason's getting his butt kicked again. So the Rangers, again, not doing so hot. Again, it is just him and Goldar, and he is unmorphed. But the other Rangers are try and fight the Green Ranger. He's got the Sword of Darkness. You can imagine how that goes. Doesn't go good for the Rangers. They do form the Megazord to avoid another beatdown, but the Power Sword basically deflects energy, which was super cool. And the episode ends with Goldar. He's like hunting around for Jason, he's about to strike the final blow onto Jason and kill him. So that's episode 2. Episode 3, Jason rolls out of the way in the fog, and he's hiding. He can't find him now, and that's going to be like his little arc to this episode. Scorpina, meanwhile, is introduced finally for the first time, which is very important, and I forgot she was introduced in this arc of episodes because it's another, again, major villain and major general for for Rita. So she, again, pulling out all the stops. It is weird. I know, I've never seen the Sentai, or excuse me, I've seen a couple episodes of the Sentai for Zoo Ranger, but it's a giant boulder for some reason, and then there's scorpions on it or something. I'd be curious to hear the of the actual thinking behind what's going on with this character. We do find out that Zordon's signal is fading, and obviously that is not good. Again, Jason and Goldar are we're kind of going back and forth between this and some of the other stuff. Goldar is looking for him in the mist, can't find him. He's in the fog, can't see him. The putties end up attacking Zack and Kimberly after they fail to find Jason at the juice bar. But they did notice that for some reason they didn't attack Tommy. I wonder why. The Green Ranger then transports to the chamber, and he fights Jason, basically says Rita wants me to be the one to take care of it, and have the honor of destroying the Red Ranger. The communicators are fixed, and Jason is able to teleport out after Tommy's basically like he's bringing his sword down. He's gotten his communicator and his morpher, and he teleports out at the last moment. And of course, Goldar complains to Tommy about wasting too much time, and that's exactly what he was doing as well. So villains being villains, I guess. Scorpina has a fight with the Rangers, and it's really weirdly edited. It just kind of randomly ends. Didn't see her lose or them win. Just she showed up and the fight was done. Basically, Rita plans to send Goldar down again. This is going to be leading into the next episode, and this time she's going to force an eclipse, which is going to shut down the solar power of the Megazord. Apparently, it is solar powered. Who knew? The Green Ranger basically trains in the Dark Dimension. That's where he's kind of hanging out. And then Goldar is sent to downtown Angel Grove to wreak havoc. That's episode 3. On to episode 4. So basically, this is interesting. It says the interdimensional power surge for the being that's searching for Zordon is messing with the Rangers' gadgets. There's just too much power going on. They try and morph and like sparks fly out of it. They're not able to. Billy does some circuitry, reverses the polarity nonsense, and they're able to work. A giant Goldar and a big Scorpina are fighting. Oh, excuse me, giant Goldar, small Scorpina or normal size Scorpina with putties are fighting. We do find out that Zordon is in Sector Q9. Don't know if that's referenced at any other point in the series, but for note. Bulk and Skull are evading or running. Everyone's like flitting out of town, and they get into the youth center bus, and they're going to try and drive out of town to get out. The Green Ranger again is back in the command center to do basically the same thing. He messes with Alpha and rips things up again. So it's kind of weird that we're doing that again, but he comes back to finish the job. The bus that Bulk and Skull ran ends up getting picked up, and now is in the hands of Goldar. Who is basically the villains are going to throw it off the cliff, and the Rangers have to, of course, save Bulk and Skull in time. Alpha's backup system does come on, and he's able to put Tommy in some kind of force field prison. Megazord is able to catch the bus as it falls in time. I'm trying to go through this quickly as possible because I don't want to take up too much of your time. But they're able to catch it after there's been a lot of trying to push it off, and it's caught by the Megazord. Scorpina grows big, so we have her big, Goldar big, Zord fight, which is always good. 2-on-1 handicap match. Rita transports the Green Ranger, and he is also big. It's weird to see a giant just Green Ranger because it kind of messes with the effects of the suit as far as it makes it more obvious there's the Megazords and the other monsters are just people in suits. It's also just weird that he's a giant person at this point. But anyway, so we have all three of them, Scorpina, Goldar, and the Green Ranger are giant in fighting the Megazord. And again, powers being all messed up from the eclipse and all that other fun stuff. And Scorpina actually does this really cool move where her tail wraps around the neck of the Megazord and stabs it in the eye or something and sends some kind of energy blast to it. It was really cool. The Megazord goes down in flames. The Megazord is destroyed, and it goes into the pit. And we do find out, or the Rangers find out at the very end of this episode, because they go back to the command center and the viewing globe. There was some kind of bio scan that was going on at the command center, and they do find out that Tommy is the Green Ranger. So just to run through, the command center has been destroyed twice. Jason's been captured a bunch. The Rangers have been beat up, and now the Megazord's destroyed. So things are getting done. The Rangers, can't believe it. We're in episode 5 now. And I like that there's this one part where Rita and crew are celebrating their expected victory, and basically they're drinking cranberry and oyster juice, which is it's basically like wine or some kind of alcoholic drink, clearly, but that's how they get away with it without having to cut it out. Kimberly finds Tommy at the youth center. He doesn't attack her immediately, and she doesn't warn the other Rangers. They try and have an actual conversation. Don't know why. I thought something would happen there, but and now we get the introduction in this episode of the Megazord, which is awoken by Rita as a gift to the Green Ranger. Of course, everyone morphs. Green Ranger commands the Megazord and destroys people. Zordon is back, and I should say earlier in that fight with the Megazord, they don't have Zords. So Zordon is back. He tells them about the Sword of Darkness, gives them their plan of action on how to bring Tommy back. And the Morphers glow. The Zords immediately come back. It'd be fascinating. I'm sure someone has done a video about how this technology wizardry works, because the second he shows up, the Zords just come back. So weird. But anyway, we have a good fight between the T-Rex Zord, or the Tyrannosaurus Zord, and the Dragon Zord. The Megazord is formed, and again we get a little red on green action after that, with the Red Ranger and the Green Ranger fighting. Let's see. Oh, also the dagger. I forgot I did this, because obviously everyone always thinks about it commanding the Dragon Zord, but it does like create like a reflective shield around the Green Ranger in his fight. So when Jason's shooting some blasters at him, it shoots him back. Jason is able to shoot the Dragon Zord because it gets out of, or not the Dragon Zord, the Sword of Darkness. Tommy demorphs. He is back. They all morph together. The Dragon Zord forms, and we have the Dragon Zord fighting mode version of the Megazord. And at the end of the episode, Tommy takes the oath. He gets a communicator. Everyone's happy. He's part of the team. So that was a lot that happened in 5 episodes. Again, I think that, and I wish Power Rangers did this more often. I wish that they did longer miniseries. I know we get a lot of 2 episodes arcs, a couple 3 episodes, not that many, but these really big storytelling moments just don't happen. And when they're bringing back the movies with Saban's movie that came out a couple years ago, I was hopeful that the first movie, I figured they would just do whatever, but you could make Green with Evil into a movie. It may not be able to be the first movie, but you could make it the second movie of a trilogy, and if people know that that's coming, I think they'd be pretty excited about that. Who knows what they're going to do with that? Of course, Tommy Oliver went on to be, or Jason David Frank, the actor, and Tommy Oliver, the character, went on to be synonymous with Power Rangers, has been in all of them, pretty much. This is a fantastic episode. You know it, I know it. It's fun to just go back and watch these and try and give some concise commentary on what was going on and just interesting thoughts. But yeah, it's amazing. And please do share if you had some thoughts on some of the questions I had. Please do comment below, or things I missed. I'm sure there are things. But let me know in the comments section below, and like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. See you next time on a podcast named Tim.